This is QTV News. I am Mamadou Gajaga and thank you for joining us. Here are the main local business and international news headlines. President Barrow has declared Wednesday the 12th of May and Thursday the 13th May as public holidays in observance of the feast of Eid al-Fitr, marking the end of the holy month of Ramadan. After not being able to perform Hajj last year due to COVID-19, we hear from the National Hajj Commission on why there might be hope for foreign pilgrims this year. We also hear why anti-COVID vaccination will be required. As Eid approaches, usually crowded markets are even more congested. We went to have a look at one such, Serekunda Market. There is $500,000 initiative for artists to raise awareness about COVID-19 and address vaccine reluctance. In business news, we revisited a SIP farm in Tidjering, which we covered about 3 years ago to see what changes have taken place since our previous visit. In international news, we hear why a death linked to so-called spiritual perfumes has prompted a warning from one of Nigeria's biggest churches. Those were the main news headlines, and now the news in detail. Thanks for joining us. Welcome, this is QTV News. The crescent moon for the month of Sawal was not sighted on Tuesday evening, meaning Eid al-Fitr will be celebrated on Thursday, May 13, 2021, which will mark the end of Ramadan 2021. Meanwhile, a statement from State House, the Gambia announces that President Barrow has declared Wednesday the 12th May and Thursday 13th May as public holidays in observance of the feast of Eid al-Fitr, marking the end of the holy month of Ramadan. The President also wishes all Gambians at home and abroad happy Eid celebration. We'll still continue with the news. Following an announcement on Monday by the Saudi ministry responsible for Hajj and Umrah that the kingdom is considering allowing foreign pilgrims for the 2021 Hajj, the chairman of the National Hajj Commission of the Gambia, Dr. Alhaji Usman Jah, has shed light on the Gambia's preparedness and the challenges ahead. Loli M. Kamara has the rest of that story.
The Saudi authorities say foreign pilgrims may be allowed on a smaller scale for the annual ritual, usually attended by over 2.5 million Muslims from all over the world. The chairman of the National Hajj Commission of the Gambia, Dr. Imam Usman Jah, said preparations for this year's Hajj will be under pressure, considering the time factor. Normally, members of the Gambia Hajj Commission would travel to Saudi Arabia to discuss logistics with the Hajj authorities. This has not happened yet, and despite the announcement by the kingdom, the National Hajj Commission of the Gambia is yet to receive confirmation from Saudi authorities about this year's Hajj.
Information, as everybody seen it in the social media, but as an established office owned by the government, and based on how governments do their transactions and their dealings, I can say this office has not yet received any official information concerning whether Hajj or 2021 Hajj will be conducted.
On the state of preparedness by authorized Hajj operators in the Gambia, the chairman says operators and the Hajj Commission are fully prepared if Saudi authorities give the go-ahead.
That is why I believe if we are given green light anytime, Gambia will be among those who can make it.
Concerning the cost for the Hajj for this year, Dr. Imam Jah said no official charges are released because all the required arrangements are yet to commence.
To decide a package will take some time and some processes, because before to decide a package, the concerned operator should sign hotel contracts, food contracts, and transportation contracts. From there, they can formulate their packages, and that is not yet done. But I think if we have green lights, inshallah ta'ala, the concerned travel agencies or operators will soon start their arrangements and sign their contracts so that inshallah ta'ala will make it.
As to whether intended pilgrims are paying their monies to Hajj operators in advance, Dr. Imam Jah said that is up to Hajj agencies, but the Commission's mandate is to identify eligible applicants from the national Hajj operators. He added that any intended pilgrim who wishes could do it, as it is on a first-come, first-served basis. Imam Jah further stated that, based on the measures taken last year, and considering the time, intending pilgrims are advised to prepare ahead of time and get the COVID-19 vaccines as part of the new measures. He said the National Hajj Commission is closely monitoring the situation and advises the public to always contact the Hajj Commission for any information. For QTV News, Lawley M. Kamara.
Now, there is a rush and cross at the Serekunda market as the Eid, locally known as Korite, draws close. Our Jennifer Sonko was at the market to study the situation and see now files in this report.
The holy month of Ramadan is coming to an end and Muslims are preparing for the Eid, locally called Korite, by going to buy new outfits, food and other materials. The Serekunda market is one of the busiest markets in the Gambia. This is how congested the market is today. Most buyers we had conversations with told us that they prefer not to do last-minute shopping, but money wasn't available to do it earlier. Fatu Jawla says it's not people's fault that they're doing last-minute shopping, considering money is scarce in the Gambia.
The market, which is always bustling, is very congested today, with people coming in and out. If you are in a hurry, this is not where you need to be. The items are very expensive. We have a large family and we are tired of spending.
Juma Fai is a vendor at the Serekunda market and her main concern is the amount of thieves at the market.
The thieves have stolen my items, and the most disappointing thing is that most of the thieves are women. There should be proper protections in place to protect us and our items from unscrupulous individuals.
We saw police officers at the entrance of the market trying to prevent cars entering the main market. Verily, God is beautiful and he loves beauty. This popular saying of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has inspired many Muslims to celebrate Eid by dressing their best. The Prophet Muhammad was known to have worn his best cloth for the Eid holidays, Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr. Some individuals will be disappointed by their tailors. Abdullah Jallo, a tailor at the Serekunda market, says he won't disappoint his customers.
Each person has their job and they should respect it. Tailors should take an amount of fabric they know they can show. The whole goal is to get the work done, and done well.
It gives an opportunity to families to meet and celebrate together and ask for forgiveness. As we have seen in this market, it also involves a lot of preparation. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jennifer Sonko.
Now, the National Center for Arts and Culture have received $500,000 grant from the ECOWAS UNESCO Anti-COVID-19 Campaign Fund, West Africa, to work with various artistic associations, and the press to raise awareness about dangers and preventions of COVID-19. Ajibintu Drame has the details.
The money is to engage the creative and arts industries such as the Writers Association of the Gambia, the Gambia Theatre Association, the Gambia Dance Association, the Gambia Film Producers and the Gambia Music Union to come up with creative awareness messages of COVID-19 prevention and vaccine acceptance. This will be done under the hashtag ArtsGambia Against COVID-19 on the theme Keep Safe by Masking and Stay Alive by Getting Vaccinated.
Well, very good. In two ways. First, we are signing contracts later this week with the artistic associations. So we'll give them money, and then this money will have to trickle down to their membership who are going to participate in the artistic creations.
The Gambia is among 5 West African countries chosen for this project. Since the COVID-19 started, most of the Gambia artists have been sensitizing the public on preventive measures. Hasum Sise says artists will benefit from this project as they are also affected by the global pandemic.
You know, the final product of this project will be a material that will be broadcast. On traditional media and also on social media, and then any royalties coming out of that, will also go back to the artist. So really, it's a win-win situation for the artist.
Sheikh Omar Jallo, the Director of Creative and Performing Arts at NCAC, says the financial gains are minimal, but sacrifices are to be made to see the progress and success of the finished project.
The Dance Association. Now, the Dance Association will take those messages, that music, and then the drama, and do a choreographic dance about the message, the music, and of course the drama. They will make a dance choreography out of it. So once that is done, also all of this would be now filmed.
Cherno Omar Bari, the president of the Writers Association of the Gambia, says this project is important to engage in an aggressive campaign to overcome the myth associated with COVID-19.
In this whole project is to be the ones that the catalyst in the whole process, meaning that we should be the ones to think deeply on how to craft the message that is supposed to be going to the public. And the crafting of that message will require the critical thinking. We've already engaged some few of our poets. Some of them have already submitted poetry in that regard. The idea of the poems, this Monday, the 10th of May, we have already all the poems in place. We have not officially submitted to the National Center for Arts and Culture because we are revising it internally. We think the messages are very good. We think they are strong.
The finished product of the creative art is targeted for release by 18th June and expected to go viral by 30th June. It will be in various local languages and it is expected to be broadcast by various media houses. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
We will now take a short commercial break, but still to come, we have some more stories for you, including business and international news.
Ramadan Mubarak from Ajib Bank Limited. This Ramadan, when you open a savings account with Ajib Bank Limited, you will receive a free passbook. And when you open a current or salary account with the bank, you will receive a checkbook for free. Ajib Bank Limited is the only Islamic bank in the Gambia and we share profits with our clients. So why wait? Visit any Ajib Bank Limited branch today and open your savings account, current or salary account and enjoy the halal beauty of Islamic banking in line with the Sharia. Ajib Bank Limited, your investment partner.
Welcome back and thank you very much if you're just joining us. This is QTV News. A fully refurbished IEC regional office in the URR, funded by UNDP, handed over to the Independent Electoral Commission on Thursday in Basse Mansajankunda. And Alaji A.F. Jallo has the rest of that story.
At the handing over of the refurbished IEC regional office in Basse, URR on Thursday, the chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission, Aliou Momar Ndiaye, said the conduct of free, fair and transparent election cannot be done in the absence of adequate resources. He further calls on development partners to support the election project 2021 to enhance and strengthen the democratic process in the Gambia.
It is my pleasure and gratitude for us to inaugurate this new refurbished IEC regional office in Basse. This could not have come at a better time as IEC is poised to conduct the 2021 regional voter registration in a few weeks' time. The voter registration would be held from May 29th to July 11th. The reputation of this office would immensely help towards the successful conduct of not only the voter registration, but all other activities during the electoral cycle 2021 to 2023 and beyond.
The UNDP resident representative, Ms. Aishata Day said staff can only deliver when they are equipped with the necessary tools and equipment, adding that the support from UNDP is meant to strengthen the electoral system in the Gambia.
And knowing how the upcoming electoral cycle will be crucial for the Gambia because they are held in a context of transition while several reforms are still ongoing, UNDP is the one who's really thanking the Gambians and the Gambia for giving us space to serve the people of the Gambia. What we are doing is really to strengthen the Gambian electoral system through its permanent electoral body that is responsible for the management of all electoral cycles and administration. So the fact that we are here is beyond doing an inauguration and rehabilitation, is to remind the Gambia how important it is to have strong institutions.
Delivering the vote of thanks, Kausu Jawara, the regional IEC officer, thanks the UNDP for the facelift, adding that the refurbishment of the office will enhance staff well-being, thus impact positively on service delivery.
Similarly, I wish to thank our distinguished partner UNDP and for renovating our office complex, which came at a right time. UNDP, thank you very much. My special thanks to the government of the Gambia for providing us a conducive working environment. This official inauguration testified the willingness to enhance staff well-being at work.
The Electoral Support Project 2021 to 2022 has already delivered an assortment of furniture and office equipment. The rehabilitation of this office will help greatly in the successful conduct of the voter registration and all the other related activities during the electoral cycle. The availability of human and capital resources are key components in any development process. For QTV News, I am Alaji A.F. Jallo.
Now, the Holy Quran is a miracle of the Muslim Ummah, and that was revealed to the Messenger of Allah Muhammad as a guidance to believers of the Islamic faith. Dembadu Charitable Foundation recently distributed copies of the Holy Quran to mosque and Arabic schools in Sukuta and the surrounding communities. Omar P. Jallo was there, and this is his story.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In Islam, there are many acts which could lead to immeasurable reward both in this world and hereafter. These acts are referred to as Sadaqatul Jariyah, for example, sharing and spreading knowledge, distributing religious materials such as copies of the Holy Quran and other books of Duha or prayer. At the event, the founder of Dembadu's Charitable Foundation, Omar Bojang, said spreading knowledge is highly rewarded in Islam, especially during the month of Ramadan, adding that if one discloses just one correct religious fact to another human being, and that individual follows your advice and shares that knowledge, you are gaining reward every step of the way. Thus the reason for the distribution.
This container that we send is almost 2 tons, 2,000 kilos of Quran books, different types, Al-Quran, Tafsir, and all types of books. I was inspired when I was in Germany, when I joined Muslim Brothers, try to spend our life for Islam. And then I met a lot of good people when they were very young. I cooked for them at the mosque. We gathered there mostly Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I prepared food for them because I'm cooking every Ramadan, every year. So these young people started to go to studies. They went to Medina and some are in Mecca. So I still have contact with them, you know, and they are still so much hold to Islam. Then I do always talk to them. I want to do something. I want to do something, business with Allah. I want a business with Allah. And that's why I go with this program.
On behalf of the beneficiaries, Alhaji Abdudabo and Isa Jabang, Imams of Brusubi Phase 2 and Bakote Moxis, respectively, both thanked the donor for the gesture, describing it as a modern way of jihad, while calling on other philanthropists to support Quranic schools to spread the words of Allah and the teachings of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Teaching someone how to recite the Holy Quran will bring you continuous reward even after you die, as every time that person recites the Quran or in turn teaches someone else, you are benefiting from the reward. According to the Holy Quran, the men who give Sadaqatul Jariyah and the women who give Sadaqatul Jariyah has advanced a good loan to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there is a noble reward for them, which will be multiplied. Ibrahim Amarena, a Quranic teacher at the Sukuta main mosque, said the books will go a long way in addressing the challenges they used to face in getting copies of the Holy Quran for their students. We want to thank the donor for this rewarding initiative. We are teaching both children and adults here, but we usually don't have enough books for them because they are very expensive. Now, each student can have a copy of the Quran. The Dembadu Charitable Foundation is a non-profit and non-political foundation that has the vision of providing free copies of the Holy Quran and other Islamic literatures to children and adults in the Gambia. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
Now to the business of rearing sheep. The Jallos farm has expanded in both size and the number of sheep in nearly 3 years since QTV first visited the place. Well, I visited there again for the second time, and it's in Tujering. Here, more in this report. Looking fresh and friendly, this sheep farm has been transformed in the nearly 3 years since my last visit. With a little over 100 sheep in 2018, the number has multiplied to close to 300.
Yeah. When we came at the last year, it was about 100 sheep I was serving here the last year. Now we run towards 300 now. Yeah, they have increased. And the reason we could have more, but because we sell the male and try to keep the female, that's why we added 300 at the moment. But most of the sheep you see in this farm are female, because we're trying to breed. We try to crossbreed, and we keep the female and we sell the male.
Jallo has been breeding different types of sheep. A few years ago, he had only a few of these breeds. Now though, due to a successful breeding program, these sheep look bigger in size. According to Jallo, a 7-month-old sheep is as good as the others which are older.
It's not just breeding. We still want to expand. But if we don't want to boast, we just don't want to go big and boast. So we have to put everything in place, because our biggest challenge is feed and medication and vets. So if I just want to expand and I don't have feed to feed the sheep, I will end up selling my sheep, at a loss anyway.
One of the most outstanding things about the Jallos farm is how well structured his process is in breeding the sheep, using data to monitor their progress.
So when they're just born, we tag them, because at that time it's easier to remember the number than the name, but they all have a name as well. That's corresponding with the tag. So when they are sick, we go to the file and say we vaccinate this sheep with this medication, this and that. When whatever happens, we give them antibiotics, we give them deworming.
Despite having the ambition to expand, Jallo says he is limiting it to a slow, gradual breeding regime due to the huge feeding cost. Having a professional veterinarian is also another burden for him.
The veterinary issue in this farm is being dealt by ourselves. So I'm the vet here. I'm not a trained vet.
Challenge?
Yeah, it's a big challenge. So that's why I'm appealing to the government. If they can train one vet every year, let's say in 2022, they say we send one person to go to university to study veterinary science. And 23, the same thing, 24. By the next 5 years, 6 years, when they start graduating, every year we have one extra vet.
More than 300,000 rams are imported from neighboring countries during the Muslim feast of Eid al-Adha, with Gambian sheep farmers accounting for less than 5% of rams in the market.
One of the things that really motivated me to go into these things is because the millions of dollars we ship to our neighboring countries create jobs for them, while we are depriving ourselves of this money and the job. That's one of the things that motivates me. That's why I call on to people to invest in the livestock. Every year, according to government statistics, we need 300,000 rams for Tobaski. We are supplying less than 5% in this country, less than 5%. So the market is there for us.
The founder of the Jallos farm and sheep breeding left the UK to return home to start a sheep farm. Although his farm is small for now, the growth registered in a short period shows that he appears to be living the dream. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News. Now to international news. One of Nigeria's biggest churches have issued a warning over the use of a so-called spiritual perfume following the death of a church member. More in this report by Yahya Jawa.
In ancient religions, it was customary to please the gods and deities by singing, dancing, chanting, and burning incense. It was believed that fragrance and aroma in the house of worship creates intense feelings of devotion and reverence for gods. Orthodox Christianity, which developed in the East, has long used perfumes in their churches, which was the continuity of early practice. Banned elsewhere, as people were closely associated with the practice. The Celestial Church of Christ, whose members wear one-piece white garment and attend services barefoot, is one of the biggest and most popular churches in western Nigeria, with branches across the country and abroad. Recently, a church member died after a priest leading the services sprayed some perfume on him, which was then ignited by a nearby candle. The flames quickly engulfed Mr. Badru, who had been wearing the customary white garment, usually made from flammable fabrics such as cotton or silk. He died in hospital on Thursday from his burns. Kayode Badru had been praying with lit candles during a privately organized session for him at the church in Lagos last Monday when the incident happened. A senior pastor of the church says that the priests who led the prayer session and some other elders who were present had been arrested by the police. Prayers in the church are usually conducted with lit candles and perfumes, symbolizing light and good sensations. Members usually source their own perfume, which they take to the service, but it can also be bought within churches. The perfumes are not intended to be sprayed excessively, and members are advised to dilute them with water. It is not known if this was done with Mr. Badru. A statement released by the church reminded members the spraying or pouring of undiluted spiritual perfumes in its volatile state with a lighted candle is an important culture not originally part of the tenets of the Celestial Church of Christ, the statement said. Mr. Badru, a wealthy Nigerian living in Dubai, had reportedly visited the church where he is a member for a Thanksgiving ceremony. One report said he was in Nigeria for the graduation ceremony of 40 people he sponsored to attend an art and technology academy. The church was founded in 1947 by Reverend Samuel Bilehu Osofa in Porto Novo, Benin. Reporting for QTV News, I am Yahya Jao.
From that story, we say Eid Mubarak in advance and thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.